Distinguished honorable members of the National Assembly, I now present a review of the 2015 budget. That budget was based on a benchmark oil price of 53 United States dollars to barrel, oil production of 2,280,000 barrels per day, and an exchange rate of 190 naira to 1 United States dollar. The projected revenue was 3.45 trillion naira, with an outlay of 4.49 trillion naira, implying a deficit of 1.04 trillion naira, due largely to under-provisioning by the previous administration for fuel subsidy, and the costs required to support the military operation in the Northeast. The government had to obtain National Assembly's approval for a supplementary budget of 575.5 billion naira. I take this opportunity to thank all members of the National Assembly for the prompt passage of this bill. Budget assumptions 2016. After reviewing the trends in the global oil industry, we have set a benchmark price of 38 United States dollars per barrel. It's now around 32 already. And a production estimate of 2.2 million barrels a day for 2016. We have focused on non-oil revenues by broadening our tax base and improving the effectiveness of our revenue collecting agencies. Also, with the full implementation of the Treasury single account, we expect significant improvements in the collection and remittance of independent revenues. To further support the drive for increased remittances, we will ensure that all MDAs present their budgets in advance and remit their operating surpluses as required by Section 22 of the Fiscal Responsibility Act. We are determined to ensure that our resources are managed prudently and utilized solely for the public good. To set the proper tone, one of our early decisions was the adoption of a zero-based budgeting approach, which ensures that the resources are aligned with government's priorities and allocated efficiently. This budgeting method, a clear departure from previous budgeting activities, will optimize the impact of public expenditure. In addition to the proper linkage of budgeting to strategic planning, we are enhancing the utilization of the Government Integrated Financial Management Information System to improve financial management. The recently established Efficiency Unit is working across MDAs to identify and eliminate wasteful spending, duplication, and other inefficiencies. We engage costing experts to scrutinize the 2016 budget proposals. They have already identified certain cost areas that can be centralized for economies to be made. We have directed the extension of the Integrated Personal Payroll Information System to all MDAs to reap its full benefits. We will also strengthen the controls over our personnel and pension costs with the imminent introduction of the continuous audit process. These initiatives will ensure personnel costs are reduced. Our commitment to a lean and cost-effective government remains a priority, and the initiatives we are introducing will signal a fundamental change in how government spends public revenue. 2016 lays the foundation for sustainable growth. The 2016 budget, as outlined, is designed to ensure that we revive our economy, deliver inclusive growth to Nigerians, and create a significant number of jobs. We aim to ensure macroeconomic stability by achieving a real GDP growth rate of 4.37% and managing inflation. To achieve this, we will ensure the aligning of fiscal, monetary, trade, and industrial policies. As we focus on inclusive growth, we are conscious of the current rate of unemployment and underemployment. This is a challenge we are determined to meet, as this budget is a platform for putting more Nigerians to work. I can assure you that this administration will have a job creation focus in every aspect of the execution of this budget. Nigeria's job creation drive will be private sector led. We will encourage this by a reduction in tax rates for smaller businesses, as well as subsidized funding for priority sectors such as agriculture and solid minerals. As an emergency measure to address the chronic shortage of teachers in public schools across the country, we also will partner with state and local governments to recruit, train, and deploy 500,000 unemployed graduates and NCE holders. These graduate teachers will be deployed to primary schools, thereby enhancing the provision of basic education, especially in our rural areas. We also intend to partner with state and local governments to provide financial training and loans to market women, traders, and artisans through their cooperative societies. We believe that this segment of our society is not only critical to our plan for growing small businesses, but it is also an important platform to create jobs and provide opportunities for entrepreneurs. Furthermore, through the Office of the Vice President, we are working with various development partners to design an implementable and transparent conditional cash transfer program for the poorest and most vulnerable. This program will be implemented in phases. Already, the compilation of registers of the poorest persons is going on. In the coming weeks, we'll present the full program, which will include our home growth, public primary school feeding, and free education for science, technology, and education students in our tertiary institutions. Indeed, this will mark a historic milestone for us as a nation. Distinguished members of the National Assembly, I now present the 2016 budget proposals of the federal government. Based on the assumptions I presented earlier, we have proposed a budget of 6.08 trillion naira with a revenue projection of 3.86 trillion, resulting in a deficit of 2.22 trillion naira. The deficit, which is equivalent to 2.16% of Nigeria's GDP, will take our overall debt profile to 14% of our GDP. This remains well within acceptable fiscal limits. Our deficit will be financed by a combination of domestic borrowing of 984 billion naira and foreign borrowing of 900 billion naira, totaling 1.84 billion naira. Over the medium term, we expect to increase revenues and reduce overheads to bring the fiscal deficit down to 1.3% of GDP by 2018.